Mono, stereo, and surround sound. Ever wondered what the difference is or when to use which? I'm gonna break it down in this video.
Hello.
So let's start with mono, meaning one. You can imagine this most easily if you picture one microphone. If you record one microphone, that's mono. You can play this recording back on one speaker or across as many speakers as you like, and it will be exactly the same across all of them. For stereo sound to be possible, you need two mics and at least two speakers. Stereophonic sound has two channels of sound playing different things through each speaker. This enables there to be a spread of sound so objects can move around from left to right and be positioned within this horizontal soundscape to create width and space. Most setups you will listen to in your life will be stereo. Your TV, phone, wireless speakers, but club sound systems are in mono. To try and explain why, in most simplistic terms, if a record is mixed down to have one sound in the left channel and one in the right channel, you wouldn't want to only hear half the recording depending on where you are in the club. Music producers and engineers will make sure that songs work both in mono and stereo, so they sound as good as possible everywhere they are played. If you listen to old recordings from the 60s, you'll hear whole instruments and drum kits panned completely left or right due to the limitations of the technology at the time. This would lead to a terrible experience at concerts if played back in stereo, as half the crowd would only hear the drums and the other half the melody. But it can be great for producers wanting to isolate samples. So now that you have sound moving across the left and right plane, the next step is to have the sound also be able to move back and forth in front and behind you. This is known as surround sound, or 5.1, as it most commonly incorporates 5 positional speakers. The speakers are positioned in front of you to the left, centre and right, and behind you to the left and right. This system is used far more in film and TV, as most places you'll listen to music aren't set up in this way. If you were wondering about why it's called 5.1, it's because the 0.1 is an additional 6 subwoofer speaker for bass. So you can probably guess what comes next in this progression. If mono is a dot in space, stereo would be the X coordinate. Surround sound adds the Y coordinate, and so the last part of the puzzle must be the Z coordinate. This is where a company called Dolby have created a system called Atmos. Atmos enables the sound to also be positioned vertically, so now sounds can encompass the listener in all directions and move the same way sound does in the real world, allowing them to be interpreted as three-dimensional objects. This requires the listener to be surrounded by speakers and is currently most seen in very high-end cinemas. But as with all technology, will soon trickle down to being in people's homes. This technology is currently being incorporated into virtual reality to give the user a far more realistic experience of virtual and digital worlds. So I hope that all made sense and you now understand the difference between mono, stereo, surround sound and Atmos. And please subscribe for more videos coming soon on Beatnik TV.